New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Why, hello, it's me, yes, Bonnie Gonzalez, your doula for grief. And, a little bit about me. I am a grief coach. I'm a registered nurse, a religious science practitioner, and a licensed soul collage facilitator. But most importantly, I'm just another human on the planet right here with you, sharing this time and space together. So welcome back. Just welcome back. I'm honored that you're returning. And if this is your first time joining me, I can assure you have come to the right place to start your journey of befriending grief or just doing your grief recovery work. And no just here, doing grief recovery work. I just want you to know it takes a lot of courage to do this kind of work. And I applaud you and I honor you. It is a courageous act that you're taking, stepping forward, making you number one in your life. And I want to say that my mission here is to just continue to move the needle on bringing grief out of the shadows and into our daily lives and into our daily conversation. And just knowing that grief's superpower is healing. So I want you to, drop a comment. Make this hour yours. Make this hour about you. Give to you this hour. If there's a question or a comment, just drop it in the comment box and be a part of the conversation. And the most important thing that I want you to know about grief is that grief's superpower is healing. If you can feel it, you can heal it. If it's here now, it is time. It is time. It's saying, yes, you've made space for this grief to show up. Now know that you can heal it. And one of the things I really like to clarify, so many times people that I engage in conversation with will feel that grief is just about death. When I say I'm a grief counselor, the first thing I hear is, oh yeah, my sister-in-law's mother died, or my cousin's child died. They always bring it into death. And yes, oh my goodness, death is the biggest loss we can have. Death of a loved one, a friend, or someone that we know. But what I want to say, so that we just get clarity on grief, is that grief is caused by loss. And loss is defined as anything expected or unexpected occurrence where we cannot go back to life the way it was before. And of course, death, yes, we can't go back to having that relationship. But also loss, a divorce, a diagnosis, a geographical move, a natural disaster, childbirth, puberty, graduation, job promotion, job loss. There are a myriad of losses that we endure in our lives. And loss is what then puts us into grief. Grief then is defined as a collection of normal and natural emotions that occur following a loss. And grief can include, but not limited to, sadness and anger, numbness, confusion, guilt, anxiety, and sometimes joy. I just want to just make it clear that grief is not always caused by the death of someone. And what I was going to say, what I term these losses that are not death related, I call them experiencing living losses where no one died, but you are in grief over that loss. So just want to clarify that today, because today we're going to be discussing living losses. And this week's theme is grieving the loss of relationships. And that is a biggie. I know that there's so many people that I have talked with, been in dialogue with, coached, that have had the relationship losses. And so I have a very special guest today, and her name is Ellen Suazo, and she's here to share her wisdom on this tender and complex subject. And just a little bit about Ellen before we bring her on. Ellen Suazo is a religious science practitioner, and she's currently serving on One Love Center Board of Directors for the Centers of Spiritual Living. She's an experienced diversity inclusive facilitator in high demand across the nation, so we're lucky to have her today. She is a former counselor for victims of domestic violence and sexual assaults. Ellen is an entrepreneur at heart. She is a holistic life and professional coach, author and inspirational speaker, and she is the CEO of Mind Shifting. So please help me welcome Ellen onto the show. So Ellen, thank you so much for your yes today. It means so much, and your sharing, I know, will touch so many people. And your bio, Ellen, is quite extensive, and I just pulled out little bits and pieces. So is there anything else that you would like for us to know about the work that you're doing in the world or shining your light?
Oh my gosh, as you mentioned, Bonnie, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Been an entrepreneur for over 20 years in the traditional business. And for the last 10 years, I've decided to bring together traditional entrepreneurship with holistic. So I have a holistic entrepreneurship program that I do. We have classes, I do coaching on that. And so you can definitely find more about it on holisticentrepreneur.com. If you go there, you will get a free ebook specifically for holistic entrepreneurs that also we can connect, and I'll have your information so we can follow up with you.
Oh, Ellen, I am so sorry. I'm just having a little bit of an issue with the audio, so I'm going to sit a little bit closer and just thank you. And what we'll do, Ellen, before you go, we'll make sure we put up the information because I want people to know where to find you. So, Ellen, our theme today, or our theme this week, is talking about that grieving the loss of relationships. I myself can go down a little bit of a laundry list of things that have touched my heart in relationships that have shifted or changed. Mm-hmm. And if you'd share with me your insight, because you were the one that kind of nailed the theme for me.
Well, you mentioned something so beautiful. Many times we think of loss as someone that passed away. And yes, that is hurtful, depending on where we are in our home. And so, but relationships, I can honestly say for myself, I have grieved them.
Oh, yeah.
And it has been very challenging for me.
Mm-hmm.
It sometimes comes up in my life these days, even though that I have done a lot of forgiveness around it. I have done a lot of everything that I know that I could do to heal it. But I think that because the other person is still alive, and the other person, you will want the other person to want to do the same. And if they're not ready to do it, you just have to do with what you can do. And the rest, you have to know that each one of us is in our own journey.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever our loved one is, the journey is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helps me to go through, to be honest with you.
Yes, yes. And I hear what you're saying because I myself use that term with people that the relationship is not what I would want it to be, or at one time it was a lot closer, but now it's not. And I use that term as well as I say that they're on their hero's journey, made famous by Joseph Campbell, that hero's journey, and knowing that they're on that hero's journey, and that brings some solace. But still, there's that ache or tenderness in the heart that needs attention. So how do you address that? How do you address that? Yes, we're wishing them well and we're blessing them on their hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with your own ache and
I can, like you said, Bonnie, you can only speak from your experience. And as the listeners, I'm sure that each one of you who are out there listening, you have your own. Because I think that this is not something that we need. I think it's an experience, it's a human experience.
Oh, yes, yes.
And so that's why I said this would be a great topic to speak about because it's very tender, especially if it's a sibling, a sister, a brother, a nephew, a niece, a child.
Oh, yes.
Child. It is tough.
Exactly.
Because you're a child. And as a coach, even as an entrepreneur coach, holistic entrepreneur coach, I have clients that have that in their heart. And believe it or not, I know is that that's a blockage for your success, for the kind of success that you want to see in your life, and that you know that you're here to experience. Right?
Right. Yes. Yes.
So we heal it. So one of the things that I do is journaling.
Oh, wow. Yes. Oh, Ellen, good point.
Journaling helps me out. And a lot of times when I remember going through it, I used to freeze, meaning that I would just write, scrabble. I don't have to read it again. But it was a form of releasing that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And after I finish scrabbling, I might cry, I might stop, I might pray, and all that process. But it's so that releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards, I don't have to read it. I could just burn it. I could just rip it apart and get rid of it. And to me, that's a good healing process.
Mm. Yes, yes.
Another thing that I also do that I've done is write a letter
Uh-huh.
to whoever that person is. Write my letter to them and write another letter of what I would like them to tell me.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes.
From that, I don't have to send them the letters, but it's just a process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Ellen, I have done that, writing the letter of forgiveness to someone. I'm trying to think, yeah. I wrote a letter of forgiveness to someone and then did the response. And I called it channeling back what they would have said. And I was going to say for me, as you said, keeping it in the eye, that's what we'll do today, our experiences. But even though that person did not physically write the letter expressing her side of the situation. It surely was a clarity, Ellen, that I had never gotten before.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in my, I'll just say my victim role, or in my anger that was justifiable. You know, I was justifiably angry. It's like there is no way that, I don't know, it just felt like it really came from that person because it was such a different perspective. It gave me some insight into her life that I had not had before. So I'm just saying that because I know how effective that can be.
Mm-hmm.
And really sitting and getting quiet and doing it from the heart. When I did it from the heart, I really had a sense of being able to let go of some of the anger. Not all of it right away, but it moved me, it shifted me in a way that if I had not done that letter, I would not have gotten shifted. So you were saying you're journaling, writing the letter, and I just want to dovetail on that is definitely, for me, that was definitely an effective tool.
Yeah, what I think is that for me, the experience, at least, it has given me peace. It has allowed me to be more compassionate with myself, with others, and even my other siblings, right? And also to hold them in love, regardless of their actions.
Did
Regardless
you,
of their actions, hold them in love.
holding them up?
Yeah, whenever I think of them, I bless them. I bless them. I bless them and their families. I think happy thoughts about them. Yes, I miss them. Yes, I miss them. And I don't miss them. I miss the relationship we have,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because a lot of times, I think that a lot of people are in relationship with their siblings, and they might see each other, but the relationship that once was there has died.
Hmm.
And that's what we grieve. That's the grieving for the relationship. Not even the person, but the relationship.
Wow.
I hope that, yeah, I'm being clear what I mean.
Oh, yes, I hear it. I hear it and I feel it. You were saying it's the relationship, it's the energy that we exchanged and not so much that person. And I was going to say this, Ellen, now that you're saying that, and talking about the relationship, realizing that each person that we encounter, be it friend, be it family members, each one of them brings out a part of our personality that is not expressed by that other person. And so in that grieving, yes, that's what you're grieving, that they bring out that part of you that maybe you were in joy of, you were happy to have that experience with.
Right.
So I thank you. I thank you for saying that. Yes, yes, yes.
And I can say that because I have done this work so deeply that I have really asked myself, what is it that I'm missing? What is it that I'm grieving?
Yes. What is it that you're grieving? Good question. Good question.
Yeah, because like I said, we can see the people, we can see them. Just because we see them, we might see them on family reunions.
Oh, oh my gosh. I don't want to jump around too much, but we talk about seeing them. I was going to say, in this day and age, when a relationship has ended, because even divorce, even breakups of of a lover, we have social media now. And suddenly there's your partner, your ex-partner, looking totally happy with another partner. It's like, how could that be? I mean, we can get unexpected. Let me keep in the eye. Well, I don't have that issue because my my ex died, so I don't have to go onto social media and see him. So, thank goodness I was spared that. But just other people being in relationship with, I have a daughter who's living her own life apart from me. And, when I hear things about her, I'm just like, ugh, it's like a little dagger to the heart, even though I have wished her well on her journey, on her hero's journey. It's still a little dagger to my heart.
Mhm.
And you were talking about journaling and writing the letter. And what I offer for myself is to really just take that time to really feel the hurt.
Oh, yes.
The only way on the other side of grief is right through the middle. Right through the middle. I take that time to feel that hurt. And I feel that there's a difference between feeling the hurt and then wallowing it and can't move on from it. And I'm depressed and I can't get out of bed the next day. That's a difference. I'm not saying to do that. Just allowing that hurt, because all emotions have a message.
Yes. Yes. I love what you just said. All emotions have a message. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I say about our emotions. Feel them, and ask yourself, what is the message? What is the message? And
Yes.
when we have the courage to ask ourselves, what is the message? Then we are opening ourselves to listen and to receive the message that the emotion has for us. Because as you mentioned earlier, every relationship is showing us part of us that is hidden somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So then it's important for us to allow ourselves to be with it, because if we are with it, now we can actually look at it in the face, and rather than wallow in victimhood, we can actually just embrace it. No judgment for it. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to say anything about it. We don't need to do anything about it. We could just be with it. And I think that's beautiful when you can do that. It takes a lot of courage. It's easy to say, but it's challenging to do it. But I promise you that when you do it, when you do things little by little, you will feel better. It doesn't happen overnight. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me because I'm on mute. We're having a few little, I've got some things here. It says they're having a little bit of an audio issue. It says at first sound was breaking up, then it went out completely, no sound. So you can hear me right out, Ellen. Oh, I know what happened. Oh my gosh. Well, Joe, my producer, just informed me via phone call that his computer crashed. So I hope that they're able to hear. And so Judith Roberts was saying no sound. Oh, and Robin Rice Olmsted. She says, hi, Bonnie. Just so you know, the sound is not great, okay? It is there, cross lines with talking. Well, I don't know what else to try, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to just persevere here because this conversation is really vital. And we have Joe from Calgary, and he says howdy from Calgary. And then I have my wonderful friend Megan Tension. She says, that she has also sent a letter. So Megan, after sending that letter, maybe just put in the comment how you felt afterwards, or what was the result for you. So yeah. So Ellen, we'll keep going. I'm sure things will work themselves out. We're in divine time here. So there was one point that I wanted to ask you about, and I had something to read, but I'll wait until afterwards. Sometimes in that missing of the person or of the relationship, do you ever have the feeling that, wow, I would like to, try to offer the olive branch, or was that extend an olive branch? Do you ever have that, or that doesn't really come up for you?
It did, and I did reach out, and it was good because I follow God's guidance. So I reached out and I was persistent, and I got what I needed to get. And while I was in conversation, I realized there's nothing more for me to
do. Nothing more for you to do. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I'm trying to tie this in, but maybe I should ask the question first that I was thinking of. Have you ever had, Robin says she can hear fine.
Great.
Yes, other noise. Yeah, and I kind of hear the other noise. So, yay, Robin, our savior. Oh, and I must say, Robin, Rice Olmsted, and Reverend Gil Olmsted have a Wednesday program right here on New Thought Media Network, and it's at 12 noon Mountain Time, and it's called Rockin' the Love. So Wednesday, tune in. It's relationship stuff, and they get really deep and juicy. So thank you, Robin. So back to what my question was. Have you ever had one of those relationships that's been estranged, and then you were able to bring some healing to it and closure? And the word escapes me what I'm trying to say, but reconnected. The relationship resolved, and you were friends again, or whatever the relationship was. Have you ever had that happen?
I haven't had that happen because, number one, I'm not one that has a lot of friends, and the friends that I haven't had any problems with them. My relationship lost for me is my siblings, two of my siblings, in fact, and for me, what I realize is that they have to want it.
They have to want that.
They want to have the relationship that we want.
Yes. Yes.
Or maybe I am romanticizing in my mind that relationship, and I was the only one who had the relationship. I had it.
Right. Right. Yeah. I was just the word I was searching for was reconciliation, I guess. That you had a breakup in a relationship, and then there was a reconciliation that happened.
Well, and for me, what I can say is that it's, with my siblings, we always talk, but it doesn't mean that there's that relationship. And that's why I was specific with saying the loss of the relationship. And I really pray that I'm being understood here, because if one of you, it would be nice if one of you can say something about it, right? Even if you can type it in, where you had a close relationship, let's say with a sibling, with a cousin, a nephew, or a family, that once was so connected and so in sync, and you felt as one. You felt that nothing, no one will ever break you apart.
Oh, wow.
I'm not speaking about a romantic relationship, right? And even with children, and I know somebody that's going through some right now with their kids,
Mm.
right? And so, can we improve that relation? What I know is that it takes two.
Yes, yes, yes.
It cannot just be me. And I have had a situation with one of my children, and I say to them, I would love for us to have that relationship, yet I would like us to have back our relationship. Yet what I know is that you will have to want to have it too, because I cannot do it alone. That I
Yes, you can't do it alone. And as you said, yes, the person has to want to reconcile. And then it's our work to do if you're not there. And then that is just your work to do. Um, I had this minister that used to say, my work is my work to do. And sometimes we do have to just accept that maybe this is my work to do.
Mhm.
And Ellen, you were saying that you didn't have that many friends to be, estranged from and that kind of thing. What I find is that family members can be the most challenging. What did Wayne Dyer said, if you want to know how spiritually advanced you are, spend a day with your family. So I love that. And
yes. I was brought up in a belief. My mother brought us up I think that my challenge started because I was brought up, I was raised with a belief that my family was my backbone. When I say my family, I mean my inner family, my siblings and my nephews and nieces, that inner circle. And so when that kind of crumbled down to me, that affected me in such a way that I felt like I have had a big loss. I grieved for a long time, for over 2 years, and I can feel, and I know that I went through the process of accepting all the steps of that you go through when you grieve someone that you lost because of death. I experienced them all.
I was going to say yes, and that's one thing I wanted to bring up too when we're talking about grieving the loss of relationships. It is the same. Grief is grief, be it caused by that death or be it caused by that friendship. Those same emotions do come up, and even the same steps of grief recovery, going through those 5 stages. Those stages are always there. And no, they're not linear. They are, cyclic. Sometimes you're in anger, sometimes you're in acceptance, and sometimes you're just back to, I just can't believe this has happened. It's like you woke up one morning like you didn't even know this was going on. You're in that such pure state of innocence, of surprise that it could be that way. So thank you for reminding us of that grief is grief, and you do feel that. I was just going to read something from Ayala Van Zandt about grieving, and this is from her book Acts of Faith. And I just love the way that she just says this. It's like when we allow ourselves to grieve, we release the negative thoughts and emotions that make it easier to accept the change. When we do not grieve, we get stuck. Grief is natural and normal and to be expected. We owe it to ourselves and to the memory of the relationship to grieve and to cleanse our soul. And the affirmation that she offers is, I will take the time to grieve and prepare myself for change. And so again, I feel that it's giving us that just stamp of approval to yes, to be sad, to be confused, or to be numb.
And to know that it's not bad, right? Because we have been taught that having those feelings is bad.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not bad. It's not bad. So, Ellen, I was going to say, so moving forward, you were talking about your enjoying journaling and also writing the letter. Any other tips and tools on moving through that grief with the loss of a relationship?
I think that the major one that I can say is to be patient with yourself, to be compassionate with where you are, to be okay with where you are each day,
Mm-hmm.
and just have a practice to tell yourself it's okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I think that holding yourself with so much love, respect, and compassion
Mm-hmm.
allows you to really move forward.
Mm. Yes, yes. And I echo that. I say to clients that, or to people, not just clients, just in general discussion of grief, that it starts with just being gentle with yourself, being gentle with yourself.
Mhm.
You know, we do live in a society that doesn't offer a space to be sad, to go within. We're not in that kind of society. The first thing people will say, you know, if I'm saying, oh, I had a, fight with my sister, whatever, it would be like, oh, girl, let that go. Get over that. It's like, I would love to get over it. And can you write me the recipe of how to get over it? Can you tell me step 1, step 2, and step 3? That is one term I'll say that really, that's a trigger for me, Ellen, when people say, get over it.
Yeah.
We all want to get over feeling not so enjoy about ourselves or not feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea is that, how do you do it?
Another thing that comes to me, Bonnie, is be in the present moment. Be in the present moment and count the blessings.
Oh, Ellen, you said a big word.
Look around where you live, what you have, what you're capable of doing. You know, for me, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can sit and say, you know what? I can walk, I can dance, I can cook, I can bathe myself. Having been, I had the opportunity to care for my mother, who at one point was not able to bathe herself. That humbled me to a point where I was just like, wow, wow, I am freaking blessed. I am so blessed.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I am so blessed. I can bathe myself. Sometimes we forget bigger things, no need. And
Well,
going to that place of being so grateful for the little things, but essential things of life, we begin to realize that after all, it's not that bad.
oh, Ellen, that is beautifully, beautifully said. I can feel your heart there. I can feel your heart. And the point that you're making is vital. Being in gratitude. Being in gratitude.
Yeah.
That when our hearts and minds are filled with gratitude,
Yeah. Even in gratitude for having that relationship, right? For whatever that relationship lasted. And for all the memories that we had together and everything that we did.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do these days. For these days. And it goes on these days.
Yes, yes. As a Rumi poem says, be grateful for whatever attitude shows up, meanness, madness, that they all have been sent as a gift from beyond. And my problem is, Ellen, I want to open the gift and see the present right away. it's about cultivating that patience that goes with relationships. We're all human, as you say. We're all on our own hero's journey, and just having patience with each other. Oh, and I was just talking. Yeah, I'll go back to having treating ourselves gently. Treating ourselves gently when we're going through something like this is also vital. Taking that time of it's getting to be kind of worn out, but self-care. But that's what it is. It's making self number one. I think Ayala says being self-full. Not selfish, but filled with self, of healing the self and moving forward from that.
I like that. Self-full.
Self-full versus a self-fit. So I just there was one other point, Ellen, that I wanted to bring forth with you. You were talking about being with family and keeping lines of communication open. That maybe that can help prevent, I guess, this breakdown in relationships. And I read that book, The Four Pivots. Have you heard of that, Sean Gainwright, The Four Pivots?
No.
It's actually taking time to pivot in your life and stop and see where you're going in the direction. But one of the questions that he asks is, he asked a question about where's your life going and what are you doing to get there? But right below that question, he asks you to ask someone that you care about, or someone that cares about you. Be selective who you ask this question to, and asking them, is there something that I'm not seeing about myself that I could work on, that I could improve on? And of course, it would be best if you didn't ask someone that said, oh, girl, you got a boatload of problems. I don't know where to start. But if you could find someone, because I know there's someone in your life that cares about you, that you can just say, is there a blind spot that you see that I don't see that I could work on? One of my guests here today, Judith Roberts, that's a term that she uses so eloquently and so lovingly, a blind spot, to say that we are perfect, but there are areas that could be perfected on.
Well, we're spiritually perfect, but in this human experience.
Yes. So is that something that you've tried with your own family, since you said you guys are in communication?
I will say now I've done that exercise actually, and I forgot about it, but I did it, and I was grateful for those that answer me.
Yeah.
And for those that did not answer me, I left it alone.
Well, I did. I did do the exercise, and it was so sweet what came up, because what I was going to say, what the person brought up was something I was already working on. It was something that I knew. And she lovingly said, you need to work on respecting other people's no. And I know I can be very persuasive, I'll put it that way, versus pushing. I can be very persuasive, but it was good to know, to hear it echoed back, that I was moving in that direction, which for me was causing some problems for them because I was so persuasive and they felt that their opinions weren't being validated. So I love that, keeping communications open so that we are a little bit more preventing hardships.
One of the things that I do, Bonnie, is that whenever I meet my family or friends or whoever, especially new people, I say, I'm in this journey and I'm doing everything possible to be my best. So I will appreciate that if I mess up, you just pull me apart and just tell me where I'm messing up. And I will do the same with you because I know that you and me are in a journey and we're just doing our best. But sometimes we just mess up and that's okay.
Oh, wow. That is beautiful.
To me, that has worked a lot with me. After those situations, I've learned how to set boundaries and also how to set expectations. Because what I realize is that a lot of times those relationships are no longer there because their expectations of me, I was no longer, or I decided that I was no longer going to do what they were expecting me to do. So because I wasn't doing that, now I'm not the relationship. You see, so it was like I was the one that was in the relationship. There was no relationship. Right. But that's okay, Right. But so what I learned is now, and that works so well for me because I said, listen, sometimes I'm gonna say something that is not right. I might push, I might pull, whatever it is. Please, I beg you, please tell me. I am only doing my best, but sometimes my best is not good enough, and vice versa.
Wow. Ellen, that is absolutely beautiful. And I think it takes a person that has a strong sense of self to be able to put forth that open and honest, put forth open and asking for open and honest feedback. It takes a strong sense of self and confidence in yourself. So I just so appreciate that. So I think that's the time is going by so fast, and and I know that you have to go, and I have so appreciated having you here to just some insight into this relationship, the loss of a relationship, grieving that loss. Now, when I was going to say, I have another friend who grieving the loss of a relationship where the person just, what's the term now, ghosted her. And it's been years and they were just the best of friends. And that is truly, truly hurtful. And she would have given anything, she said, if that person could have just been open, just like you're saying, just been open and honest with her. So let's be open and honest with ourselves and allowing others to give us their feedback and sharing, keeping the lines of communication open.
Yeah.
And so I am going to stop at this point and welcome you back for part 2 of grieving the loss of relationships. And before you go, I know you're a busy woman in the world and sharing your wisdom and shining your light. You want to just let us know what you're doing and where we can find you for more quotes by Ellen or Ellen Wisdom.
Yeah, you can. I do a bi-weekly conversation on onelovecenter.org. You can find us on our Facebook page. And also on Facebook, you can find me as Ellen Suazo. You can find, my email is right there. Connect with me. I'm more than happy to support you in any way.
Beautiful, beautiful. And your center, do you have a Sunday service or service that's online?
We have it online, yes.
Okay, and that center is?
One Love Center.
One Love. And just find you at onelove.com.
Onelovecenter.org.
.org.
My website, ellenswasso.com. You can, if you want, I want to give you a free gift, and the free gift you can get it at holisticentrepreneuronline.com. holisticentrepreneuronline.com.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe put up your email. So Joe, if you put her email up again, you can email Ellen and get that and get your free gift. You know, you don't want to miss out on anything that is free. So there was, Ellen, before you go, there was one comment that I didn't read down there from Megan, that she did her letter, writing her letter. And she said her response was apology. So we know that that is an effective tool.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Powerful. I use it with all my clients, and to me, I haven't heard one that it doesn't work.
Right. Thank you. And here's what I was going to say to that. And I do want to read a little something in talking about apologizing and forgiving. And I know that there's a lot of people that feel that with these relationship breakdowns, I'll call it that, or in that grieving, that sometimes forgiveness work can be so tremendously vital. Forgiveness work. And I just want to read something on forgiveness before we close out. So just hang tight. And sounds like maybe our audio problem's a little bit better. Can you hear me okay, Ellen?
Yes.
Great. Okay, well, I am just going to read this, and it's by a minister. Her name is Carol Carnes, and it's on forgiveness. And she says, Dr. Martin Luther King said, if we can't forgive, we can't love. Forgiveness has long been a topic of discussion in spiritual circles. It is good for the soul, because forgiveness restores us to our natural state of bliss. This does not mean condoning the act or spending time with the perpetrator. It means to recognize, as King did, that there is good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. We can be sure that someone somewhere feels betrayed by us for something we did, and we might not even know it. Has anyone ever forgiven you for anything? To be forgiven is the greatest gifts of all. It is a message to the soul, as if to say, I know you're greater than what you did. We need to do that for ourselves as well. Perhaps the person you wrong is gone from this earth. Even so, ask their forgiveness. That simple act puts you in accord with your true nature. For you are saying, I know I am greater than the mistakes I have made. Mm-hmm. Being human is not easy. Why? Because we are formless spiritual essences first, and have come to navigate the waters of form as we were. We do not come in with a manual for behavior. We learn as we go. What we learn most is how to love and how to be loved. It is inherent in all in us, but it doesn't impose on us. Love gently nudges us to move closer, to embrace, to discover. Love is the energy of creation. It is too powerful for us, for our own gain, and too important not to allow it to have its way with us. Tricky business, this love. Forgiveness is the key to the inner door where love resides. Mm-hmm. We all have someone to forgive. Let's start with ourselves and see if that doesn't get the energy moving. And that's by Reverend Dr. Carol Carnes. Yeah. So appreciate that. Every time I read that, and I've had that for maybe the last 5 years, it still touches me in that way, especially when it talks about maybe I've done something to someone and didn't know it, and they needed to forgive me.
Yeah.
So, Ellen, this has just been a beautiful time together. And I just thank you for taking the time to be here with me today. And what I will ask my audience to do is to just, take a deep breath and just close your eyes and go within. Just take a deep breath. Take this, deep, magnificent, holy breath in. And connect with your inner source of stillness and kindness. And ask yourself, what do I need today? What do I need today? Do I need to forgive myself or someone else? And just ask yourself which one of those do you need? And know that whatever the answer is, you're truly loved by the divine. So there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's what your soul desires. So just with a deep breath, I just thank everyone for being here. I see Wayne is still there, and Robin and just thank you for tuning in, and go out and do something wonderful. Whatever answer came up, follow through. Thank you so much, Ellen, and I'll see you for part 2. Okay, ciao. Thank you. Bye-bye.
On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network, come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.